Good evening, everyone. This is March 5th. Another month has gone by. My God. February flew, and we're into March. We did not have an executive session this evening, so there is nothing to report. Reminder that we are being recorded live by Raycam, and would you all please rise as we pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. May I have a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting?
Motion to accept as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Mr. Buckley, would you like to give us a report on our wonderful snowstorms?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to report that the groundhog gave out false information back in February. An update on our snow and ice. We've had a total of 12 sanding events or salting events, 8 plowing events, storm totals of 36 inches so far this year, so we've caught up to the average for the season. About 950 tons of salt have been used or ordered, and the total expenditures to date are approximately $197,000. Still not in bad shape for the
No.
winter. We still have a few weeks to go here. Those are the numbers right now. So we've been, pretty much since the last report, been mainly focusing on snow and ice. If it isn't, going out and treating the roads and doing the work, they're maintaining the equipment. We have been doing a little bit of tree cleanup also. We spent a couple days, we had a windstorm in between some of the snowstorms, so we spent 2 days cleaning up branches and trees on the sides of the road.
No damage to vehicles or anything?
No.
Good, good.
A few mailboxes here and there.
Yeah, well,
We're also still in the process of permitting for the salt shed because of the landfill and proximity to the wetlands. There's some issues that have to be addressed, but we should be going out to bid hopefully before the end of the month for the salt shed.
Good.
And also, same on the footbridge on White Street near the sewer pump station. That'll be going out to bid shortly, where to connect the two sections of sidewalk together, right at the bridge where it's narrow. Solid waste, we've been selling a lot of stickers. In February, we had 3 Saturdays where we were open for sticker sales. And that's about it.
good. Any questions?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Ed.
Thank you.
We have no appointments this evening. Let's see if I follow our agenda today. We have a citizen and community input. Does anyone have any comments? Nope. We have no public hearings this evening. Do we have any new business?
None, Madam Chair.
No new business. How about old business?
None, Madam Chair.
We're going to have a hearing on those residential permits. Oh,
Yeah, I think for next week.
next
right?
week. Okay. And how about the letter for Eversource?
I was
We
fine.
didn't vote on that last week, but we did say we'd take it under advisement and read it. And I don't know if everybody
Yeah,
else has it.
I've read it all.
You did make a recommendation to send, to insert a telephone number
Yes,
in this.
and I gave
Okay.
that to Mr. Tanis, so he's good to go.
Oh, okay, good, good. You also made a recommendation of sending letters to abutters. I disagree with that.
You don't want to do that?
No, I really don't, Joe, because you see, the smell doesn't stop here. I know you said there were like 40 abutters to it, but the smell doesn't stop there. It goes and wherever the wind blows, so it's pretty hard to really. I think what we should do is, David, make sure it's on the website, and to call Mike over at Cable, and make sure that it gets on cable.
Yeah, no,
They can run a trail. I understand where you're coming from it, and I appreciate that. In my opinion, it's it'll set a real big precedence too for any time anything goes on in any part of the town that people will be expecting correspondence from the town. And there's enough means of getting the information out to them. At least that's my opinion.
Mhm.
But other than that, do you want to vote on the,
Yeah, motion to approve and move forward.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's Matt's letter. Legislative breakfast. Okay. Town Administrator, would you like to give your report?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
Ongoing projects in town, Bob Iafredi and I took RMC for a tour of the South School's basement, and I should be getting an estimate no later than the end of the week to get repairs done there, which will include rug replacement and painting. The end of the last week, I started the IFB, the invitation for bids for the Council on Aging's vinyl siding, which was approved at the last town meeting. It should be, the bids should be closed either by the end of March or the beginning of April. There's a couple more things I have to do, and I'll send it right out this week to have it advertised. Gilmore Hall, the painting for the upstairs that you requested will be done probably by next week. Budgets for fiscal year 2020. FinCom met already tonight again, and they're going through the budgets as per their annual review. For Human Resources, I had a meeting with our insurance company today, and we'll have new policies and documents to be forthcoming. Just a reminder, annual town meeting is set for May 20th. All articles for the warrant are due no later than March 30th. The health agent and I had interviews for the health inspector earlier today. Hopefully we'll be filling that position rather soon. And I believe Historical Commission still needs one more member. So I'll be in touch with Jeff Kelleher to see if he had any luck reaching out. Next Selectmen's meeting will be March 12th, 7 p.m. here in this room. The next Sursage meeting is March 20th at 9:30. The next Health Group meeting is March 13th, 9 a.m. in Seekonk. Next Department Head meeting is March 21st. And again, I have a meeting with Bristol Plymouth Regional Tech tomorrow to discuss their budget.
Thank you. Any questions for David?
Just one question, if I could. Dave, you mentioned for the South School rug replacement, and what was the other?
Painting, yeah.
Also the mold remediation,
Yeah, a lot of
that's
it.
critical.
Yeah, all the mold will be remediated.
Okay.
That's primarily why the rug will be replaced.
Okay.
But all the sideboard, the sidewall that was there was particle board, and it's going to be replaced with something
Okay.
that's not mold-friendly, like
Okay.
that was. So.
All right, because that's the important one we take care of ASAP. Thank you.
And you're painting the upstairs in Gilmore Hall?
Yes.
How were the shades and things?
I was going to have Miss Dooney put a woman's touch to it and see if she could replace that with a,
Okay,
you would want to
'cause-
see what I'd pick out. So.
No, we'll have Deb do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Deb be putting together our books on the budgets?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions? No? Good to go. Thank you, David. Selectmen's report, did anybody have anything?
Just very brief, Madam Chair. Last Thursday, we had the County Advisory Board meeting. As the board knows, I'm the chairman of the advisory board, and we fortunately finally able to get a quorum and conduct our business, and the crux of the business was to approve a supplemental budget so they could continue the repairs to the old Todd Superior Courthouse.
Oh, what are they doing to it?
The insides are completely being gutted and restored, and then in phases, they're going to be replacing the original either copper or bronze roof. I can't remember what material it is.
think it's copper.
Okay, I think so too, but
Yeah.
I want to err on the side of caution, so.
Yep, right.
But it was a long process, but it's moving along, and credit to the commissioners for, identifying that, because it's really the first thing and the last thing you see when you're in downtown Taunton.
It's the most beautiful building, it truly is. And the inside of that building is, oh,
Yes, well, it was gorgeous. Now
It
it's-
was,
but
yeah,
they
I
have-
know.
They have scaffolding up, and they're moving along with it, so I think it's a good sign.
good,
So-
very good, thank you.
That's all I have.
I have a couple of things. We've kicked off our 22nd annual Read Across America program in the town of Raynham. We were canceled on Monday because school was closed due to the storm, and Monday's events will be rescheduled for next Monday. But we were at the Raynham Middle School today, and we had a great list of special guests. Liz Mora, Director of the Council on Aging, Jeff DeAmbley, who's a member of the Council on Aging Board, school committee members Tony Gelfi and Rachel King, former Selectman Don McKinnon, Raynham firefighter Jeff Kelleher, also Michaela Brito, our veterans agent, town moderator John Donahue, Assistant Superintendent Ryan Powers, former teacher Grace Nagel, Raynham firefighter Mark Manconi, and we also had Raynham police officer Jenny Pohl, and Michael Halen and Margot Fortier were there as well from Cable. And Senator Pacheco was there, and he had the entire sixth grade class for an assembly and did his ladybug story, which was very well received, a story about lawmaking, so they gave them all a great civics lesson. I learned a few things myself, I must say. So it was very good, and it was a great start. We will be at Merrill on Friday and again at La Liberty next Monday. And thanks to Becky George, obviously our rave coordinator, and also our rave Read Across America co-chairs Becky Mello and Kate Dyer for a great effort there. Also, just a reminder that rave, our Salute to Veterans, are having their major fundraiser for the parade and our Veterans Day assemblies. That's a comedy night fundraiser, which is St. Patrick's Eve, March 16th, at the American Legion, Post 405, and some of the top comedians from Boston will be entertaining us. So I'm sure that will be lots of area businesses and organizations donate some great raffles, so that should be a great event. And our Government Study Committee met last Wednesday, and they're going to be meeting in March tomorrow night, actually, and then the last Wednesday in March. Those two are trying to go around some vacation time for some people. And last Wednesday was a little lighter on the attendance because of the weather. Gets in the way all the time. But we had Fire Chief Fire Chief, right? Exactly. Jimmy Janis presented, and some more great discussions, so that committee's doing a great job. At the last meeting, I had asked if we could put on the agenda for tonight's meeting, and I forgot to follow up on that, but if we could put it on for next week's meeting, that 2003 article about establishing the screening committee. We haven't heard back yet from our town council about that. Dave, maybe if you could check on that. But just to kind of explain where I'm coming from on this, unless I see some compelling reason otherwise, my intent would be at the next meeting to make a motion to ask our town moderator to go forward and set up that committee. For a couple of reasons. I looked back into it, and the Government Study Committee that was appointed at that time, it was a great committee. Randy Buckner, Victor DeSantis, Barbara Gallagher, Bill Lewis, Gordon Luciano, Russ Matarana, Marie Smith, Belcher Stanley, and William Tripp. And that was one of their recommendations. The rationale for it, the reasoning, I looked into that, was to formalize the current recruitment and screening process for all appointed town department heads through a new town procedural bylaw. The Board of Selectmen are now informally using a model of 5 to 7 members of a recruitment and screening committee, with appointments to that committee depending on the needs of the open position and made by the Selectmen. We would recommend that the composition of the committee be comprised of appropriate town staff, members of relevant boards, commissions, and at least one representative of the town citizens at large. It went to town meeting, and 208 people attended that town
Sure,
meeting. We're lucky now, we hope we can get a quorum of 25 people. So it was great. It was approved at that town meeting. I think to uphold the importance of town meeting, I think we really need to honor that. I know it hasn't been since then, but now that it has been brought to our attention, I really think we need to do that. If we want to change it, we need to go back to town meeting and make an amendment to change that. It doesn't say anything in the article about whether, it would be limited only if a certain number of applicants applied. And I think if we try to delve into trying to understand the rationale behind what might have been the intent, other than what's in writing, or if we pick and choose what articles we're going to honor and what we're not, I think that's a slippery slope that we don't want to go down. And also, I just love screening committees. I mean, maybe because I had such great luck with them on the school committee, I had the honor of chairing the 2 screening committees that resulted in the hiring of the last 2 superintendents. And it was a wonderful experience, and just, Marie, if you remember, we attended a meeting Senator Pacheco hosted last year. The town auditor, I believe, was the speaker, and she said, surveys that they have done, not only in our country, but in other countries as well, and the faith in our government leaders, our government process, is just at an all-time low. People don't have faith in our government. I think it's hopefully less true on this level, but it still exists. Our town survey showed that to some extent, and I think anytime you can open the process and get more people involved, it's just a positive. And obviously, it wouldn't take the authority away from the selectmen, which makes the appointment. We're the appointing authority, and it wouldn't be binding. But to get the input of 3 to 7 members that would be set up and appointed by the town moderator, I think that would just be some extra information, extra insight, perhaps. And you could put together a great group of people. And I know some people are concerned a citizen at large, someone that doesn't really know, but you could pick somebody like, we've got a couple of retired police chiefs that would have great input into that position. We have a retired fire chief from another community that would have great input. And I think, I don't see how it could hurt, even if there were only 3 applicants, even if they said all 3 would be great, and they gave us that information, we would still do our due diligence and review resumes, interview, and everything else, but it just would be an extra source. In another, I don't know if people noticed in the news, but in another community not far from here, there was recently a real controversy about an appointment of a fire chief. They had opened it up, I'm not going to name the community, but they opened it up to outsiders, and 2 of the 3 members of the selectmen voted for someone not in-house, and the other person voted for a person from within the department. And there was outrage in the community. And it was just they thought it was a very political decision. And I think, again, when you have more people giving input into the process, it takes away that stigma that, is it political, is it the best person? And the great thing is, with those 2 screening committees that we had with the school committee, they recommended 3 people to go forward to the school committee, and then we went and did even more interviewing. Went to the communities, actually, obviously that wouldn't happen in this case, and interviewed people that worked with them to get even more information. And we hadn't decided who would be the top person, but in each case, those screening committees were unanimous for the person that eventually was selected. So I just think, I have a lot of faith that the best person for the position rises to the top. So, again, will be my recommendation. I don't know, if the selectmen will go along with that. Put it on the agenda for next week's meeting, and in the meantime, maybe we can check.
I think one of the things that you did say in your comments on that whole thing, Pat, and I read it, by the way, this was very, very good. I enjoyed reading the comments made by the police chief and Eden Ferguson. She did a great job in her reporting of what we should be doing as opposed to what we have and how it came to be. Excellent. But I think the most important comment that you made, Pat, was this was approved. Are we going to do this with every article that's approved? Just say, okay, we approved it, but we really don't have to do it? I tend to get very nervous now in knowing that we had something, was approved, people said, yes, that's what you should be doing, and we haven't been doing it. as a policy, or just the way we run things for the past few years, we have not done it. So I appreciate the time and effort that you put into researching the whole project, and I tend to kind of have to agree with you on the context of your comments. That's the right thing to do.
And that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Correspondence this evening, we only have one tag day, and that is for the Taunton High School cheerleading. Yeah, I have that one. That's the new one? Yeah, I have it. And they're looking for July 20, 21, 12, and 14, August 9 to 11, and August 16 to the 18th. And they're looking to for tag for high school cheering.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And the town of Raynham is having its rabies clinic, as a yearly thing we usually do. The Board of Health will sponsor a rabies clinic on Saturday, April 6th, from 12 noon to 2 p.m. behind the Raynham Fire Station. The law requires that all cats and dogs over 3 months of age be vaccinated for rabies. To receive a shot, dogs must be leashed and cats must be in a carrier. Vaccinations are administered by the Raynham Veterinary Hospital personnel at a cost of $15, with all proceeds going to Raynham Library. Raynham 2019 dog licenses will also be available. Spayed females and neutered males are $10, females and males are $15, and a proof of current rabies vaccination certificate must be shown at the time of licensing. And this is from the Raynham Board of Health. This is something that is well taken in. A lot of people appreciate the fact that the Board of Health does do this every year. So remember, April 6th, noon to 2.
To the Raynham Veterinary Hospital for thanking them for doing this?
We always
do.
We do it
Excellent.
after the fact. once
Okay,
that's
terrific.
got it. But thank you.
Because that's excellent for them
Yep.
to do that.
We have no press here this evening. Do we have any emergency business?
Madam Chair.
Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, sign the bills, no business thereafter.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.